standing to honor you. Okay, here they come. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll go first. Well, people are absent. We have more room than we are. Anyway, less crowded. Okay, we have roll call, please.
Mr. Chrisman? Here. Mr. Fedorcha?
Here.
Ms. Frantz? Here. Ms. Husak? Here. Mr. Kern?
Here.
Ms. Culp?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, on your agenda, you see at the top the civility and decorum. I hope we can stay within the rights of that. Any public comment this evening that we noted?
There is no one that has signed up to speak this evening.
No one has signed up to speak, thank you. Okay, you've all received copies of the meeting held on January 8th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Motion? That was Donna?
Yep.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? And so ordered. Okay, special board report, CLIU, Ms. Husak.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Yeah, you did have a board meeting in January 24th. We push our January board meeting a little bit later. We skip our February meeting due to the holidays, and so our next meeting will be in March. But some updates that occurred in the January meeting, we did have Board Appreciation Month. So the students presented all the board members with small tokens of appreciation. We have little cactuses and things like that they made, and pictures and things, which is fantastic to see from our students. And they try to do their best to get districts to get from their students. So really thank you for doing that, and our students working to support the board. Also, we did receive our audit report for last year. Happy to say that it was a clean opinion from the auditors, so no findings in our audit report. We did have a presentation of the toy, it was the Toy Adaptive Day. So the students use 3D printed switches that allow special needs students to be able to interact and use toys that any of our students here in our district or in our special needs area able to play at the same level. So those toys are really cool. They do a fantastic job creating them to have them all feel part of that program. We also presented the 2024 through 2027 three-year comprehensive plan. That is in compliance with Chapter 4 and includes professional development under Act 48, the induction plan under Chapter 49, and student service assurances under Chapter 12. That is currently out for the 30-day public evaluation and review going on now. So feel free to go onto the website at cliu.org to go review that if you have any interest in that. And the last item I have, we will have our budget on tonight's agenda. Small decrease. Please remember it's our general operating budget, which does not include the services that our students would use for that, but just the operating and technology budget. So there's been no increase to our district, and that is on our budget, or I'm sorry, on our agenda for voting tonight. And all 14 districts in the Carbon-Lehigh Intermediate Unit are required to vote on our budget. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gail. LCTI, Mr. Fedorcha.
Yes. This past month, we held our Special Olympics for our students, and I'm not going to take away from our students because I know they're going to talk about that, so I will let that go to them. Anyway, we also have our budget going on this agenda tonight. The JOC unanimously passed the budget to go on to the boards. We do not pass the budget at the vote tech school. We have to have all 9 school districts, 71 board members as the IU. So that is going to be on the agenda tonight, and hopefully we'll pass that. Just a point there, unlike unlike the IU, we are having an increase, and even to our district, it is an increase. I'm happy to say the increase is to our benefit, or mainly to our benefit of our students. We have more students this year going, and we're also including, for the first time in a number of years, students to our academic center. So really, it's increasing our budget, but it's for our kids, just so you know that that is part of our budget. And the third thing is, because of the teacher shortage that's out there, we are going to put in a program at the high school level to teach students, to prepare them to go into education courses to become teachers. So we're putting a new program into place next year. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. Legislative report, Ms. Snyder?
I'm going to just allow Sherry to report on that because it's all about the Mr. proposed budget.
Thank you. At Lehigh Carbon Community College, 2 points. First of all, at our last meeting, we went over our kind of revenue for the year and our projections. And with the declining enrollment that I spoke about on several occasions, we're not going to generate the revenue that we had budgeted. However, the good news is with interest rates being up, we're getting more interest on all our investments. We also have some non-credited courses that we're teaching, and those are profitable. So between some of the extra things, it looks like we will actually be able to come out with a balanced budget and not have to dip into any extra revenues. Don't know, but it looks pretty good at this point in time. The other thing is we had a presentation on low enrollment classes, and I was shocked at some of the classes where they have, you know, thousands of jobs available in the area, and we only have like 4 students taking them. And it's like companies are actually coming in when the students are getting there and trying to sign them up. And it was kind of eye-opening that all those jobs were available, and yet there's no students there to fill them. But oh well. We also looked at low enrollment classes where we might have a class with maybe 2 or 3 students. Maybe Northampton has the same class with 4 students or whatever. And so we're starting to partner with some of those other schools. And as long as you're in a school district in like Lehigh County, you can go at the regular rate in Northampton County. You don't have to pay the, the what do they call it? The non-resident, thank you, rate. So, and we're looking at partnering with some of the other colleges to do that. So those are the kind of things there. Our budget is also on there, and unlike these other 2, ours is actually decreased. So, we'll make up for losses. Thank you. Okay, you've all gotten copies of the committee reports and meetings. Student reps.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you all again. Today Jayla and I will inform you all about the various activities at the high school and stuff that are going on with our athletics program. So to start, we had 3 LCTI Skills USA medal winners from NL. We had James Stock, who won 1st place in mechatronics, Braden Arnold, who also won 1st place in motorcycle service technology, and Jonathan Erkinger won 2nd place in power equipment technology. And congratulations to them, because that's a great accomplishment to achieve. NL Theater is putting on a production of Footloose the Musical, and that will be from March 14th to the 17th. And tickets can be purchased online or at the door. And we hope you decide to come out and support our NL Theater program. On Tuesday, January 29th, the induction ceremony for all National Honor Society members, current and new ones, were held to sign the NHS registry and for the new members to receive a certification. This dates back to 1929, the club, and as of now, there's a total of 59 members, which is great to see such high numbers with so many students being participating in the school. Student Council will hold a spring dance in the high school gymnasium on March 23rd, and they will also be having Mr. Northern Lehigh in the spring, but the date is to be determined. This year's senior-junior prom will be held at Twin Lakes on April 27th. That's all that I have for today, and I'll pass it on to Jayla for the rest of the report. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be talking about a little bit more academic events, and then I'll move on to the sports report. To start, LTRIC is having LTRC will be having visits to the high school on February 19th. The Army will visit all lunches on February 13th, as well as the Army National Guard on February 15th. January 23rd marked the beginning of the high school's new semester. That is all I have for academic events. Now onto the sports report. Boys basketball team ended their season on Tuesday with their senior night, who recognized senior Nick Buskirk. They finished their season 2-10. Girls basketball team began their playoff season. They had their quarterfinal league game on February 10th. They unfortunately lost. They finished 5th in league, and their league is currently 14-9 overall and 11-7 in leagues. Wrestling is currently 8-9. They have a duel against Salisbury this weekend, individual tournament on February 23rd at Freedom and Liberty High School. Winter Awards Night will be held on Monday, March 4th at 6:30 p.m. in the high school auditorium, and the first day of spring sports practice is also on Monday, March 4th. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you have it in there, okay. I was gonna say something nice, but I got my fingers slipped. Okay, where are we here? You have anything this evening?
Nothing.
Nothing this evening, okay. Business manager?
Thank you. Last week, Governor Shapiro presented his 2024-2025 school district budgets, well, actually the state budget, and basic education is within that budget. He is proposing a 13.62% increase, or $1.1 billion, to basic ed. That will be funded through 2 different funding formulas. He also is proposing resetting the basic ed base amount back to what is the 23-24 amount. Currently, it goes back, I believe, to 26-27 or 27-28 school years, so they want to reset it to 23-24 rate. Northern Lehigh's increase will be, if the governor's budget passes as is, would be $765,000 in additional revenue for basic ed, which would be a yearly amount of $8.874 million in basic ed funding for Northern Lehigh. He also proposed $50 million increase to special education. Northern Lehigh's increase in special education would be $52,000, with a yearly amount of $1.613 million. He also proposed $50 million additional, again, for safety and security grant funded through the PCCD. He also proposed $100 million for school mental health, again, for the 24-25 school year. $300 million for school environmental repairs and improvement grants. It represents $1.5 billion over 5 years. And he also, the big initiative that school districts are hopeful will go through is the state cyber tuition rate for cyber schools will be maxed at $8,000 per year per student, and that is to better align the actual cost that it costs to actually online education for students. So hoping that he's able to get that to push through. That's a significant savings for Northern Lehigh. We pay almost $14,000 a year for basic ed funding for cyber charter schools. So it would be a huge amount of money back to us. So that's all I have on the state budget. More to come. Hopefully we get a budget passed prior to ours. I doubt that it'll happen, but we will build accordingly. So thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.
Can I ask a question now? I'm sorry, I was not at the committee meeting on Monday, but how many charter school students do we have?
I don't have that number. Normally it's somewhere in the 100, but I can let you know. I will check that out and I will get that back to you, Donna,
I
okay?
was just curious.
Yep,
Thank
no
you.
problem. And that's both. That's between brick and mortar and cyber charter, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, Donna, thank you. Tucker, your turn.
At the board members' places and for the public out at the table, we have our ESSER grant spending update. This is as of the end of January. For ESSER 3, we paid for salary and benefits for administration, our technology integration specialist, kindergarten teacher, ELDP teachers, paras, the nurse at Peters, and also our mobile hotspots. For ESSER 3 learning loss, we paid for Navigate 360, which is a program that we can use for professional development for the Act 55 trainings that we're now mandated to do. We also purchased books for our middle school and high school library. For the after-school monies under ESSER 3, we used that for tutoring, mainly at the middle school, high school, and then we did not spend any money on the summer enrichment at this point. The second item I have under my report is the 24-25 middle school curriculum guide and high school program of study. We ran those through our education committee, and we look forward to the board's consideration of passing those this evening so that we can begin to schedule our students at the high school coming up in March. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Where are we? Jay, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Tonight I have some announcements and acknowledgements to share. First, I would like to share that last week was National School Counselor Week. Our team of school counselors, Mrs. Kelly Cromer at Peters Elementary School, Mrs. Suzanne Mangle at Slatington Elementary School, Mrs. Maggie Schaefer at the middle school, and Mrs. Raquel Hofford and Mrs. Allison Crucial, who's with us this evening, at the high school, go above and beyond each day to support our students and their families. They do this well beyond academics. They do this to support our students socially, emotionally, and really with any challenges that may approach them or any successes that they want to share. They do this each and every day. So thank you for all you do. This past week was also National Food Services Workers Week. I'd like to thank and acknowledge our entire food services department under the leadership of Mrs. Nicole Fink, who's here with us this evening as well, for all they do to ensure that our students have access to nutritious and enjoyable meals through the school year and also during the summer months. So again, thank you for all you do for our students and their families. This upcoming Thursday, is School Police Officer Appreciation Day. So if you see Chief Jones or Officers Probozniak, Thomas, or Nicosia, please be sure to thank them for their constant efforts to keep our students, employees, and visitors safe and secure. We appreciate all they do. Next, I would like to acknowledge our Northern Lehigh High School band members who represented the district in the 65th Annual Lehigh County Honors Band concert earlier this month. This year, Andy Swass, Stacy Rodriguez Delgado, Evan Gurman, Joshua Weber, and Reese Johnson represented Northern Lehigh. Mr. David Carroll, our band director, also serves as the chairperson of the Lehigh County Honors Band Association. Of special note this year, his opening remarks so impressed the PA Music Educators Association representative that was in the audience, unbeknownst to all of us, that he made a special request for a copy of Mr. Carroll's speech so it could be published in the association's statewide journal. Mr. Carroll spoke so eloquently about the power of music, and I cannot do it justice, but the one statement within his speech was that music is the common language of all humanity. Just think about that for a second. Music is the common language of all humanity. That really struck a chord with me, and I find it to be completely true. So congratulations to our students and to Mr. Carroll. Finally, I would like to acknowledge and thank two individuals in our audience tonight, our student representatives, Victoria Hanna and Jayla Cook. Earlier this month, Northern Lehigh hosted the Greater Northern Lehigh Chamber of Commerce and President and CEO of the Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Tony Ainelli. Victoria and Jayla gave a comprehensive update on all Northern Lehigh High School events and accomplishments for the entire building, but also calling out some individual students for their recent accomplishments. So they gave the district report in lieu of me giving it, and they did a much better job that particular morning. The chamber was very impressed with what is happening in Northern Lehigh, and in particular by the professionalism and poise of Victoria and Jayla. So thank you for representing our district so well, ladies. Mr. Green, that concludes my report this evening.
Thank you, sir. We did have an executive session this evening that began at 6 o'clock. We went over some personnel items and also looked at negotiations. Those are the two items. So, moving into personnel, I would like to make a change on personnel A1. The position is not cafeteria helper, it's cafeteria monitor. No money change or anything like that, so it's something we could certainly change at a meeting. So we have personnel items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L. So,
So moved.
motion approved, with a motion?
I'll second.
You got a second?
Yeah, Chad
Okay,
seconded
thank you.
first.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered.
Mr. Green, if I may, I see with us this evening that we have one of our newest employees here. Miss Maisha Utterbach is here. Welcome to Northern Lehigh. Miss Utterbach, Miss Utterbach will be joining the special education faculty at the middle school. So congratulations and welcome.
Yes, welcome. Okay. We're at policy, I think. You have a couple policies there, A1 and 2. Is there a motion to approve policy?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second down there somewhere too?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Let's get this straight here. We have conferences A to F. Is there a motion to approve the conferences, A to F?
A motion.
We have a motion, second?
Second.
Thank you, Gary. I don't know about that item D. We might, okay, we'll let it in there. But, any questions on the conferences? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Under curriculum, we have items A, B, C, D, and E. Is there a motion to approve the curriculum items?
Motion here.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or discussion on any of the items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. We have nothing under old business. Under no business, we're looking to restructure the committees, and this is something that I've been thinking about for a while. We have eight members and 6 committees, and 6 doesn't divide by 8. And if you go to the vice chair, 12 doesn't work with 8. So we kind of split a couple committees, made a few changes, and we're now looking at having 8 committees, so there's cooperation for all the board members. Everybody gets a chance to be chair, to be co-chair, to work with the administrator on that committee, and I guess it's just a hope on my part that we all work together, we all get along, we don't start acting like Harrisburg and Washington and things like that. And everybody's equal, everybody gets a shot. So hopefully we can have a motion to approve that item.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second? Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no, and so ordered. Moving to personnel, I would like, if there be no objection, to pull item K for the moment. So we're looking at approving all the financial items except for K. Is there a motion to approve the items? Gary? Did Chad second also? No? We need a second? Oh, you got it? Okay.
Chad made the motion, you made the second.
Okay.
Gary made the
Mr.
motion.
Fedor-
I think Gary made the motion, yeah.
And who seconded? Nobody seconded it.
Chad did.
I will second it now. How about that?
There we go.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Any questions on the financial items? And you have your budgets are all part of that for the 3 entities? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. We now come back to item K all by itself. Is there a motion to approve item K?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second? Second. Thank you, Gary. Any discussion or questions on item K? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Chrisman?
Yes.
Mr. Fedorcha?
Yes.
Ms. Frantz?
Yes.
Ms. Husak? No. Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Ms. Cope?
No.
Ms. Snyder?
No.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So there are 2 or 3?
6 to 3.
6 to 3, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're done with that. Moving to legal, we have unfortunately two expulsion hearing waiver approval. Is there a motion to approve those two items?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. I think that was
Natalie.
Ms. Snyder? Yeah, okay.
That's what I meant.
Any questions on those? You can't really ask too much, but all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Correspondence, I think I'll turn this over to our secretary.
Do have two items of correspondence. The first, if anybody is interested, Lehigh Carbon Community College, there is an open candidate for trustee at large. If anybody has any interest, we are to return nominations of who we would choose as a candidate by March 15th. So please visit Mr. Green or Dr. Link.
Can we make a nomination public? We can make a nomination this evening.
We can make a nomination. Each school district has the right to appoint one individual. This is at large, it can be anywhere in the college. So it doesn't need to be from our districts, but it certainly can be. And yes, we can take a motion tonight and move forward with it if somebody wants to nominate someone.
I'd like to nominate Gary Fedorcha.
Okay? Gary has been nominated. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Mr. Fedorcha has been nominated. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
We need a second for that, yeah. Okay, all those in favor of closing the motions, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Based on that, I would ask our secretary to complete the necessary paperwork. I think they sent it to you, if they didn't already,
I
but
believe so, yes, I have that.
you have that, okay. If you would complete the necessary
Yes.
paperwork and return it as requested. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation.
I have one more correspondence.
And, I'm sorry?
I have one more correspondence.
I know.
Sorry.
I was
Okay.
getting that. We're gonna talk about library.
Sorry.
You took them out of order just to confuse me, right?
It was just in the book that way, I'm sorry. We did receive another correspondence, and it is from the Slatington Public Library in regards to their 2023 annual report, and their budget is included in the letter. So if anybody would like to see it, we do have that on file. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other correspondence?
No.
Yep. We've got a couple information items there. Minutes of the various meetings. Any guests that want to be recognized? Anything? No? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Hello? Second.
Moved in second. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. We're done.